Hello everybody, my name is God of Darkness 18 and well, if you've been here since I've been called Jimmy Chris and you're thinking, who the hell is God of Darkness 18? Well, I changed my username. Can you not see? Anyway, this is a little sneak preview of what this video is going to be about. It's not much to go on, but some of you may not be aware of this, but I have a manga collection. I absolutely love manga. I got into manga in 2013. I found a few manga that I liked, and all of a sudden it just kicked off from there. Now, be wary, I've got a huge collection. Not as huge as some people that I've seen, but this is my manga collection as of today, which is February 23rd. 2018, and it was in 2017. Gosh. Anyway, so I like to put these in alphabetical order, so I will basically show you them in alphabetical order and tell you how I got them and stuff, and if I've read it, what I think of it. Okay. First off, Dot Hack, Legend of the Twilight by Rei Izumi and Tatsuya Hamazaki. Now, I have read this. This was actually one of the first manga I read. It's basically like an open world, an MMO game. These two kids basically go into this virtual reality place of some sort, and you could be anything you wanted to be. And basically, what happened is there's a little thing that happens that says that set high level bosses, enemies, whatever, in a level 1 world. So these two people are trying to investigate. So yeah, it's not that bad. I actually kind of like it. I can't remember reading all of it because it's been such a while since I read it. But I actually got this as part of a few manga that my ex-partner got for me, and because I initially got it in the library and rented it, but someone was selling this in a city nearby me, and hey ho, it happened. And by the way, this is going to be completely unedited. So next, I have A Devil and Her Love Song by Miyoshi Tomori. Now, I picked this up in a charity shop, second-hand shop, whatever you call it, and it's not that bad. I mean, I probably wouldn't read the next one, to be perfectly fair. It doesn't make sense in my eyes because it's basically a girl. She's apparently the devil, but I've not seen any resemblance to that, if you like. So yeah, I've only got the first volume of this, and also Dot Hack is only the first volume, but I will try and get the first one. Considering it's Tokyo Pop, I might have a bit of a problem trying to get it, but I'll try my hardest. So yeah, A Devil and Her Love Song, not the greatest, but so far, but yeah. Next I have Akame ga Kill. I don't know if you can see that, but I've not read it yet, but I have heard a fair bit about it, and it sounds interesting. I have plans, as you will may be aware of course, you know I am also an artist, and I have plans to draw the Night Raid logo, which is that there. And I picked this up in the local bookstore that sells manga, which is pretty awesome. And I also have, as well as this, volume 2. I just picked up the first 2 volumes because they are the only volumes basically available that I saw. I'm not going to order 3, 4 and beyond yet until I've started reading these, to say, okay, I actually like this, I will buy more. So yeah, that's Akame ga Kill, and this is by Takehiro and Tetsuya Tashiro. Very interesting. Next, I have All You Need Is Kill. Now, I picked this up because of the same bookstore that I mentioned earlier. I got it for free, technically speaking, because it was worth £10. And remember, I'm British, so I'm going to be using British currency. And my loyalty card filled up, and it is worth £10 once it's filled up. And this is by, well, the story was originally by, it's actually based on a light novel by Hiroshi Sakurazaka. And storyboards are by Ryosuke Takeuchi. In the original illustrations are by Yoshitoshi Abe, and this is the main reason I picked this up. The artwork is by Takeshi Obata, and if you don't know who he is one of the creators of Death Note. and I'm going to get to that later, hopefully. Next I have Archlord by Jinhwan Park. Okay, this technically isn't a manga, it's a manhwa, which is a Korean manga. So this is not the first of its kind. I actually picked this up in another charity shop, and I got it for 50p off. Its retail value, because, well, not its retail value, but the value that they were selling at, because I got the first 3 volumes here. It's not complete. I should also point out, by the way, all you need is kill is complete. It's 2 volumes in one, so that is perfectly fine. And Archlord, there's the first 3 volumes. It's actually based on a video game of the same name, also but in Korea. And so yeah, I picked these up in a charity shop. These were I got these for £1 each instead of £1.50 as it says on the inside. But this is a manhwa. It's by a Korean mangaka, if you can call them that in Korea. I'll just put this up a bit. So yeah, that's Archlord. I've not read it yet, but I will get around to that eventually. Next up is one of my personal favourites, Assassination Classroom by Yusei Matsui. Now, I remember seeing this and I thought it looked absolutely ridiculous. I thought the cover looked so lame that I just didn't know if I wanted to buy it. And then eventually, last year, I just picked up a whole bunch of volumes. I ordered a couple on Amazon because they didn't have it in the shop. So I thought, why not? And let's just say it's actually become my favourite series I've read in a long time. So, and you can tell how addicted I am to this because I also have Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and hang on a second. My manga likes to go AWOL sometimes. Doing that a lot lately, mind you. Right. Sorry about that. I'll get to what happened in a minute. I'm going to carry on with Assassination Classroom. 6. Volume 7. Now these covers can actually make sense if you read it. Volume 8. Volume 9. Volume 10, which is my personal favourite cover because rainbow. Volume 11. Volume 12. Volume 13, Volume 14, Volume 15, Volume 16, very Scottish, Volume 17, Volume 18, and Volume 19. Now these are not all the volumes. Volume 20 is coming out in next month. I am so annoyed with that because I was expecting it to come out on yesterday actually, as of recording, because that's when I thought it was going to come, but nope, it's been delayed for a month for some reason. But anyway, Assassination Classroom is about these group of students. They have to assassinate their teacher, who's an octopus, who's blown up a certain percentage of the moon, and they have to kill him before the graduation, which is when he says he's going to blow up the Earth. And now, let me just say, like I say, I thought it was ridiculous when I first saw it, but after reading the volumes that are currently out, it's become one of my favourite series, easily. Anyway, next up in my collection is something that a lot of you should know. Attack on Titan. Now, I've heard a lot about this, especially on Jacksepticeye's channel. I mention Jacksepticeye a lot in my posts. He's one of my idols. And Attack on Titan is basically about this almost apocalyptic situation where humans are up against these things called Titans, and I really want to see the anime. It looks brilliant, and I'm not even halfway the series, sadly, but I will show you what I do have. I have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, and Volume 11. I need to get the next volumes, I really do. It's a fantastic series, and it's just blew my mind, really. Anyway, next up, another one that a lot of you will be familiar with, Bleach. Now, Bleach was one of the first manga I ever bought for myself. The reason I got this is because I have heard so much about it, and a few of my friends are into it, and people have been requesting me that I draw Bleach stuff, and I have done as of now, so that's good. And okay, I'll be honest with you, I love the first 2 arcs of this of Bleach, but I collect the omnibus versions, so these are 3-in-1s. Everything else I've shown you, apart from All You Need Is Kill. Oh yeah, and I should also mention first, by the way, Attack on Titan is by Hajime Isayama. Bleach is by T.G. Kubo, and honestly, I loved the first 2 arcs of Bleach. The Soul Society arc was brilliant, and I loved the Rancor arc, but the Fullbringer arc, an acquired taste, let's just say that. But I'm on the final arc as of right now, and I will be getting very soon the next omnibus, because it was out yesterday and should be in stores soon, hopefully. So I'll show you how addicted I am to this. There's 1 to 3. Sorry. 4 to 6. 7 to 9. 10 to 12. 13 to 15. 16 to 18. Oh gosh. 19 to 21. 22 to 24. Actually, that's a lie. Hang on. You see, I'm not editing this at all. This is 19 to 21. My bad. And this is 22 to 24. With my favourite character in the whole series, Grimjaw. 25 to 27. 28 to 30. 31 to 33. 34 to 36. 37 to 39. Oh. 40 to 42, 43 to 45, 46 to 48, 49 to 51, which somehow got waterlogged for the first 100 odd pages and a bit on the cover, which really annoyed me. 52 to 54, 55 to 57, 58 to 60, and 61 to 63, and like I said, I will soon be getting the next omnibus, which has 64 to 66, and after I've read those, I will be 8 volumes away to completing it. I don't want to collect the individual volumes because it's much cheaper to get the omnibuses. Anyway, next on my collection is Claymore by Norihiko Yagi. Now, I don't really know much about Claymore. Although I did do a whole set of drawings for it last year. I think it was last year or the year before. And I didn't even know it was like an anime manga. It just sounded interesting, and from what I've read in the blurb, it actually sounds interesting. It's all about females killing people, really. I don't know. Well, not killing people, Yuma, apparently. But it looks interesting. I actually got this from a friend, so I'll be excited to read it, and if I can find them, I'll probably get the next volumes. So, exciting stuff. Next up is Corpse Party Blood Covered. Now, I have heard and seen a lot of gameplay footage of the Corpse Party games. This is a manga adaptation of the very first arc. It's just, wow. It's a horror, I would assume. And yes, it actually is a horror, yeah, I know. But it looks fantastic. I mean, look at that girl. Poor thing. Did she get murdered or something? So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I've not read this yet. I should also point out that I've read all the Assassination Classroom ones, all the Bleach ones, and Attack on Titan ones, yeah, so that's Corpse Party, Blood Covered, and Mirror Do Not Fall Down on Me, like you've been doing the past few days. Okay, next is D.N.Angel by Yukiro Sugisaki, another Tokyopop manga. Now, I've not read it yet, but it's intriguing. I actually got this in a charity shop just for Christmas, and it looks interesting. It sounds even the artwork on the back is pretty cute. So I am interested to read it, and I've heard a bit about it. I've seen it many times in the back of Tokyopop manga, because obviously they like to promote their books and say, oh, look at this list of titles that we have. Okay, thank you. But yeah, that's D.N.Angel. Like I say, I've not read it yet. So. Next, I have Deadman Wonderland. Now, I picked this up because it looked fascinating, plus I've drawn the logo for it. I say anything I haven't drawn, to be fair. And this is by Jinsei Kataoka and Kazuma Kondo. I picked it up because it looks fantastic. Look at the artwork. The artwork is so pretty. I like it. So I picked it up, and I remember having a little bit of a conversation with the person that sold me this, saying, oh, I've never heard of it. And I was like, yeah, I've heard a bit about it. It looks interesting. And then I just went down in the wind, basically. But yeah, I'm intrigued to read this. So. And just so you know, just as a little starter pack, I also bought volumes 2 and 3. So that's always good, right? Yes. Next up, I have the first manga series I ever finished. Death Note, and it's Black Edition, and black's my favorite color. True story. So yeah, Death Note. This is by Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Oba. And it's just fantastic. I picked this up because obviously a lot of people were talking about Death Note, especially recently because of the live action film, which I refused to watch because I do not like live action movies of anime, of manga and manga. But I picked this up because it's black and it's my favorite color, and it's just it's so brilliant. And like I say, this is the first manga I ever finished. It's only 12 volumes long, mind you, so £60 worth well spent. Because obviously, there's that. That's volumes 1 to 2. That's omnibus 3 and 4. 5 and 6. 7 and 8. 9 and 10. 11 and 12. And I've also got the encyclopedia. I don't know if you can count this as a volume because it's read in the manga format, and also it's got so much information about Death Note, about the characters, about the plots and stuff. Just brilliant. And there's also a sneak peek of the well, not a sneak peek, but there's a peek of the preview that they made. And I love Death Note so much. This doesn't technically count as manga, but I got Owl Change the World, that novel, and another note to Los Angeles BB murder cases. So yeah, I got those in like a couple of bookstores, so that's brilliant. And also, I should have taken this down with me. I got this late last year. It is the Death Note All-in-One edition. It's the complete manga in one giant book that's 2,400 pages long. And it also has a special epilogue chapter that was never released in English in these stories. Spoilers. But I'm so proud to have this because it's just fantastic. It's a huge tome, and this cost me 40 quid, which is not bad back. Anyway, carrying on with the rest of my collection. Next up, I have Dragonball by Akira Toriyama. Now, who hasn't heard of Dragon Ball? I mean, seriously. It's one of the most famous manga, anime, Dragon Ball Z in particular. And it's just, this is the very first Dragon Ball, and this is the oldest manga I have, I believe. I remember it's 1984 or something like that. Hang on. Bear with me. Oh wait, it's at the front, isn't it? Or what we call the back. Yeah, 1984. My sister wasn't even born when this happened. Yes, I have a sister. And she wasn't even born. And this was quick. But yeah, that's an omnibus. That's 1 to 3. And we've got 4 to 6. And 7 to 9. And I've not read any of them yet, but I will get down to it. I promise. Anyway. Next is another manhwa. This is also from Tokyo Pop. Surprise, surprise. This is Faeries Landing by Yokyun. And this was another one, along with Dot by the Twilight, that I got from my ex-partner as part of a deal he made with someone that was selling off manga. But why would you want to sell manga in the first place? Manga's a good thing to have. So yeah, I've not read it yet, but you know, it's interesting to have a look at this, and also just compare Korean and Japanese art. Not that that should be a thing, just so you know. Anyway, next one I have in my file is Fairy Tail. Now, this is hugely popular apparently. This is by Hiro Mashima. And I am very happy to have the first volume because I've heard so much about it. I want to check it out for myself. And because this is the only consecutive volume, so to speak, that was in Waterstones, which is the bookshop I mainly go to, I was excited to, you know, just pick it up and start reading it. I'm not ready yet, but I will. I know I say that a lot in this video, but it's true, I will. Next is Fruits Basket by Natsuki Takaya. Now, a lot of people are talking about this manga, and I mean a lot. I remember there's a Facebook group I'm part of, and I said, can I get some manga recommendations? And a couple of people actually said, Fruits Basket, read it, it's fantastic, it will blow your mind. Okay, I'm over exaggerating a bit, but I thought, okay, I'll read it and see what it's like. And I've not read any of it yet, although I love the artwork. Let's be honest here. And excuse me, I'm tired. I just thought I'd give it a shot, and because because of him being in the shop already, I also got volumes 3 to 4, because that's 1 to 2 in normally was 4, and 5 to 6. I'm glad I didn't get the Tokyo Pop version, let's be honest. Anyway, next up is Full Moon Osakishite. Now, this is another manga I've heard so much about, and I've actually picked this up in a charity shop just before Christmas. And this is a very girly manga, I can honestly tell by the cover, so I'm somewhat excited to read this. And I might actually get another one, another volume of this. Depends, because I've not read this yet. I need to do a lot of reading, mind you. I was saying to myself, I will actually do this video if I actually read some more, but I thought, no, screw it. Okay, next up, Full Metal Alchemist. A lot of people love the anime, including one of my very good friends, that Metal DeviantArt. This is apparently the best of the best. Okay, I'm exaggerating again. God! But yeah, I've heard so much about Full Metal Alchemist. I actually read the first volume was actually one of the first manga I ever read. And I need to reread it because, again, people are talking about it, and I need to start reading them. So yeah, this is quite a thing apparently. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of reading to do, because that's 1 to 3 in an omnibus, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 12. Brilliant. Next I have, by the way, Jing, King of Bandits, and I like how honest this one is, because as soon as I opened it recently, I just realised it says, where is it? Haha. I don't know if you can see that, but it says volume 1 of 7, so there's 7 volumes to collect this, but this is going to be hard to get, because this is another Tokyo Pop one, and it's another one of those that my ex-partner got in from that one person. So I am excited to read this. It seems pretty interesting. Oh yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, by the way, is by Hiromu Arakawa. This is by Yuichi Kumakura. So I am very happy to start reading this when I get the chance. Next, I have Manga Shakespeare. Now, honestly, I am not a fan of Shakespearean works at all. I don't like plays and stuff like that. It's just no, it's a no for me. But this has been Japanized. If that even is a word. And plus, this is by Sonia Leong, so it's kind of like a manhwa, or I didn't know what it was originally, but this is interesting. There's actually a good other amount of manga Shakespeare comics out there for other Shakespearean plays and stuff, so I will maybe have a look into getting them. But that's Manga Shakespeare. Next I have My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia, as some people may know it as. Now, I've actually read this first volume, and it's not bad. I mean, it could only get better, because I've got a fair few volumes to read, and this is by Kohei Horiguchi, and I picked it up because a lot of people are talking about it nowadays, and I mean, this is new, this is quite fresh, kind of, and it's just one of those manga that I've seen, and I just had to pick up, and like I say, I've read this volume, and it's not that bad. And you know something? I actually forgot to pick up a manga. A couple of manga, actually. I'm ruining my alphabetical order of things. But first, before I show you the next one, I'll show you this. Because I have My Hero Academia 2, And I'll tell you something as well before I mention it. I love how it has like an old school like comic thing there. But that's volume 3. Like 4, 5, and 6. Anyway, next up is Gyo by Junji Ito. Now, I heard a lot about Junji Ito lately, and I saw Uzumaki in a store that sells lots of entertainment stuff, manga, anime, DVDs, other books. Well, not other books, but you know what I mean. It's like anything entertainment, and I had started hearing a lot about Junji Ito. I was like, who is this Junji Ito? I have to do it. I have to buy his things to see if I like it. And I ordered 3 Junji Ito ones. You'll see which ones later on. And just to see if I would like them. And I got, these were part of my first purchases of 2018. And let's just say, I love them. Gyo is fantastic. If I remember correctly, I think Gyo is also the first manga I finished in this year so far. Yeah. Right, next I have I Love Halloween by Benjamin Roman and Keith Giffen. Now this is an original English manga. I believe if Manga Shakespeare isn't, it's the first original English manga I've got in my collection, because original English manga are basically manga, but it's not originally Japanese. So I Love Halloween. I actually picked this up in a very little known shop that you might not have heard of called Forbidden Planet. And basically I just picked it up because I told people I had to get it. I didn't care if they were £2 more than what they were supposed to be going for. I had to get them. Just give me a second. Okay. But yeah, I Love Halloween. I actually finished this recently. Because there's only 3 volumes. And here they are. And I've actually found this piece on DeviantArt. And it's fantastic to look at. But yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, it's supposed to be a horror, and it's got some very dark references in its humor, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's not the greatest I've read, but it's commendable. Let's just say that. Next, I have ETF by Kazuta Tatsuta. Now, this is a kind of heartbreaking story because this is about people who took part in the cleanup of the Fukushima Daiichi power plant after the earthquake struck 7 years ago in a couple of weeks. Or a week. Yeah, a couple of weeks. It's just mad to think it's been 7 years, and Kazuta Tatsuta, although that's his pseudonym, basically, it's just basically a memoir. I mean, it's fantastic that it's in manga form. And I actually got this. This is probably my most expensive one because this is only 1 volume. And I spent, including a £10 discount, £21. This is so precious to me. I've only read the first chapter and it made me so upset because tabloids just don't give a damn about who they're criticizing or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that. Anyway, I better read more of that because it's huge. It's about 600. I'm exaggerating. It's about 540 odd pages. Okay, next up I have Naruto by Masashi Kishimoto. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think Naruto is very overrated. And I mean very overrated. Because I've seen the anime. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But it's not worth the hype at all. Because It's just not my sort of thing to live up to hypes. I mean, okay, it can only get better because I'll show you my collection. 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and 7 to 9. I've read all of them, and the hype is just not buying me over. So I have to probably read more. I don't know. I'll do it, okay, at some point. Next, by the way, I have Neon Genesis Evangelion by Kara and Yoshiyuki Sadamoto. Now, this is like one of the first mecha I've ever read, and I've heard a few people talk about it, and then I saw it in HMV, and my friend got this for me, and I read it, and I thought, you know what, this is actually not bad. So I want to get the next omnibuses, and when I saw that this was from the 80s, you can easily tell what it is, and the art is brilliant for its time. But yeah, it's just fantastic. And I want to get the next omnibuses, but it's really hard to find. So yeah, this is a brilliant manga. Next I have, okay, this will make sense later on, Neo Parasite F and Neo Parasite M. Now, some of you may be familiar with the series known as Parasite or Kiseiju. And basically, these two manga, they're not really manga per se, but they're basically fan fiction in a sense of Parasite. And I might or might not have Parasite. And let's just say, I've not read them yet, but they seem pretty interesting to read. So I'm excited to start reading them. Next, I have, by the way, this would not come as a surprise to you. If you want to know what's coming, it is One Piece, the best-selling manga of all time. Now, I picked these up because my friend had the first 9 volumes in omnibus form. This is 1 to 3, and I've given so much time to read this, and I read it, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. So yeah, I actually think it's pretty cool. So yeah, this is brilliant to read. I mean, I can see kind of why it's the best-selling manga of all time. It's brilliant. It's original. It's fantastic. It's just brilliant. And this is by Eiichiro Oda. So he's had a little special place in my heart right now. So, and I'm only up to volume 21, as you'll be able to see now. So that's 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12, 13 to 15, 16 to 18, 19 to 21. I've been meaning to get the 22 to 24 for a long time, but it just never happens because, you know, I cannot find it. Even Forbidden Planet doesn't even have them, which is blasphemous. Next up, I have another story that Jacksepticeye kind of inspired me to read. One Punch by one Yusuke Murata. It's so funny. If you don't know what it's about, it's basically about all these. This young man here, Saitama, he tries to find an opponent he can try to beat in more than one punch, because everyone he beats is destroyed by one punch, and it's funny, okay? It's just read it if you have the chance. It's one of my recommendations, for sure. And I'm a bit obsessed with him because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And 13 is coming out next month, which is brilliant. I can't wait to read it. Now, do you remember I said I may or may not have Parasite? Well, I kind of do. By Hitoshi Iwaaki. I have heard so much about it lately, and I actually drew Migi a couple of years ago, and who's one of the characters. It will make sense once you read it, if you haven't already. And I just picked up the first volume, I enjoyed it, and then all of a sudden I went to my nearest city, I went to Forbidden Planet, and the remaining volumes were there. Right there. And my friend bought me volume 2 for my birthday, which you'll see in a minute. And then I got the other ones for myself. There's volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's fantastic. Okay. I finished it not long ago as well, so when I say not long ago, that's me at least a couple of weeks ago. I'm nearly finished, kinda, maybe. I just have to hope I've got enough memory on my tablet, which I'm recording from, to actually say. Next up, by the way, I have Phantom Thief Jean by the same person that made Full Moon Osakashite, Arina Tanimura. Now this was actually gifted to me by a friend. I didn't expect it. I was like, no, keep it. I don't have time for manga at the moment, but they insisted, and you know, that's that. I've not read them yet, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's the complete set. I should also point out that right. Next up, I have. If you bear with me. Platinum End, which is by the same people that made Death Note, Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Ohba. And just, I've actually literally not long finished where it's at the moment, because volume 5 is coming out in English in April, and I like this series, and plus the covers are so shiny, it's just so beautiful. But basically it's just brilliant. I mean, you can one thing I love about manga, just so you know, is the artwork, and to see from Death Note to this, because this was released in 2015 in Japan initially, just to see the evolution of the artwork of Takeshi Obata, it's brilliant. And there's volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4, and like I say, volume 5 is coming out in English in April. Next, I have Portrait of M&N, another Tokyopop manga, but this was actually bought in a charity shop. And it's by Tachibana Higuchi, if you've heard of her. She's also known for doing Gakuen Alice, which I do not have, as you probably gathered. And this is just a kind of like a romance novel. Well, it's not a novel, romance manga. It's not my sort of thing. I don't like romance. It's me cringe just thinking about it. But it was interesting, but I probably won't be getting the next few volumes, whatever is left of it. That's Portrait of M&N. And the M and N makes sense when you read it. Actually, it actually says in the front, masochist and narcissist. It makes sense when you read it. Anyway, next I have Princess I by Misao Kujirado, DJ Milky, and, believe it or not, Courtney Love. This is Courtney Love's manga persona, because at the end of volume 2 it actually says about how she actually came to enjoy manga and that sort of thing. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I have so much love for her now. But this is Princess I. I picked up these two volumes 2 and 3, in Forbidden Planet again, because I didn't care if they were £2 over the normal price. I just picked them up, and because I only realised in the bus trip home that I didn't have volume 1, I ordered it online. And the funny thing is, I did not get volume 1 when it was supposed to say it was coming. I thought, where's my volume 1 of Princess I? And then the day after it came. So I've got, and this is the complete set as well, just so you know. And also I love Halloween's complete set as well. Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica. Now, I made friends with a volunteer when I volunteered at a charity shop a few years back, and I said to him, I've got this Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica. And then he was like, yes, I know what you're on about. And he was also the one that pointed out there was Portrait of Eminem in the charity shop. And I thought, wow, this guy's amazing. And I've read all 3 volumes, because even though I've only got the first volume that I own, I have read the other 2 volumes because this guy, he had the other 2 volumes and I read it. And it was pretty cool. But the thing is, it got a tad confusing. Now that I think about it, it's just how, why, what. But there are other arcs and I am tempted to get them. But not just now. I have too much manga to read. As you'll find out. Now, the next one on my pile is Seraph of the End Vampire Reign. Now, just before Christmas, I actually saw volumes 1, 2, and 4 in the same charity shop that I was mentioned just now. And I was like, I have to get it. I know there's volume 3 in Waterstones. So, I've not read it yet either, but I'm intrigued. And plus, I love the fact that they've got a little mini poster in every volume that I think is pretty sweet. So, apparently this is about vampires, and let's just say I love vampires. Not Twilight, no. Let's not mention Twilight. Yes. There's volume 1, there's volume 2. Oops. Volume 2. Volume 3, which I bought in the bookstore, Waterstones. Volume 4. And that's it I've got so far. And then next I have, and Seraph of the End, by the way, no. Well, I Made Madoka Magica is by Magica Quartet and Hanokage. Seraph of the End is by Takaya Kagami, Yamato Yamamoto, Daisuke Furuya. Now, Soul Eater by Atsushi Okubo. I still have to read it as well. God, I have a lot to read. Let's be fair. So that happened. I actually picked this up in a bookstore. No, not in Forbidden Planet. 1 to 5. I thought, you know what? I'll just give it a chance. I've heard so much about it. The artwork looks fantastic, and I love the backs. They just look amazing to read. So I've got the first 5 volumes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now next is Strawberry Marshmallow. Again, the charity shop I volunteered at. That's where I got these. There's 7 volumes in this, but I've only got the first 3 because that's what was in stock. And it looks pretty cute. I mean, it's apparently a comedy, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about that because it's about girls. Not to say that females are not funny. There are a few female comedians that I like, just so you know. But yeah, that's volume 1. That's volume 2. This is volume 3. And that's it. And the next one is one of those 4-panel comic ones. And this is called Sunshine Sketch or Hidamori Sketch. Recently I went to the charity shop again, same one, and the manager who I've known for ages saying, "I've got something for you," and she gave me 4 manga. She gave me this. She gave me Pandora Hearts Volume 3, Lucky Star Volume 4, and Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. Now, Sunshine Sketch was for some reason more expensive than the others. I don't even know why, because everything else was £2 and this was £4. But this is by Umi Aoki, and not Aoki, like you hear certain people say that name. It's Aoki. But yeah, this looks so cute. My mom's actually started reading this. My mom is actually getting into manga. Fancy that. But yeah, this looks so cute. However, I'm not too keen on the 4-panel thing. So, but I'll read it. And if I don't like it, I'll give it to my mom. JK, it's in my collection. Next, I have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime by Fuse or Fusing, I don't know. Taiki Kawakami and Mitzvah. Now this sounded absolutely ridiculous. I saw it in there's like a swivelly case for books, and this was in it in Waterstones, and I thought, oh my god, that sounds so ridiculous, I have to buy it. Because last time I said something was ridiculous, aka Assassination Classroom, look what happened to it. It became one of my favourite series in the entirety of manga. And this just sounds funny. It's got video game references in a sense. Yeah. He's reincarnated. Yeah, it's just... It looks so ridiculous. I don't know how to feel about it. But I'm excited to read it. So yeah. That happened as well. Next is The Demon Ororon by Hakase Mizuki. Yes, Hakase Mizuki. Now this is another one of the manga that my ex-partner got from that one seller. And it's one of those things that he actually read this, he said, and he said it was pretty good, and he wanted to get the next ones. And I actually wanted to get the next ones for them, because there's only 4 volumes apparently. So I was so tempted to get them for them, and just, so you can just read it. But obviously, since we broke up, I didn't even bother. Why should I bother? Next is The Legend of Zelda. Now these next 5 are the legendary editions of the manga, because these came out to celebrate 30 years of The Legend of Zelda, and I was so stoked to see them. I mean, I've been considering getting The Legend of Zelda manga for a long time since I heard about them and seen them, but I never picked them up because I just felt like I had to wait. And golly, I'm glad I did. So yeah, like I say, 5 of them. And they're all based around the games, which I think is just brilliant. So, yeah. These are all of them. However, they didn't come out in that order. I just put them in alphabetical order just to make it sensible in my mind. So, in order, we have this one, which is Ocarina of Time. Then we have this one, Oracle Seasons, Oracle of Ages. Then we have this one, Majora's Mask and A Link to the Past. The Minish Cap and Phantom Hourglass, and then 4 Swords, that first one I showed you. And that they were, like I say, they were all released to celebrate the 30th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, which, if you don't know me that well, is my favourite video game series of all time. And I've only recently started playing Breath of the Wild because I got myself a Nintendo Switch for my birthday. And also on The Legend of Zelda, I have Twilight Princess, Volumes 1 and 2, Volume 3 is coming out in March, next month. Can't wait. And just so you know, those 5 legendary editions are for kids, because It's actually one of the very few manga I have that is actually rated A for all ages. So, I'm not complaining. I don't care if it's for kids because Twilight Princess is for teens, which makes a lot of sense. We're almost done, guys. Sorry this is taking a long time, but the next one I have is... Oh, but by the way, the Zelda one is by Akira Imakawa, which is actually a pseudonym for two female mangaka. Yeah, so the next one I have is The Magic Touch by Izumi Tsubaki. Now, this is my least favourite manga I own. It is so boring. I got it in a charity shop, the same charity shop as I've mentioned before. And, basically, I don't like the notice me senpai and I'll massage your back. That's basically what this is about. She's a student masseuse and she wants to get him the hottest guy in class. Senpai. I am sick and tired of them. Well, the only thing I like about them is if there's murder involved. But yeah, there's no murder in this, sadly. But yeah, I'm just no words for it at all. So yeah, that. I'm still keeping it though because it's part of my collection. Oh, ow. Sorry. Oh, my wrist. Next, by the way, I have Tokyo Ghoul by Sui Ishida. Now, no, this is not the copy that I told you I got with 3 other manga, including Sunshine Sketch. No, this is actually the very first one I got. I've actually got 2 copies, and I'm sending one off as soon as I can to one of my friends. And basically, Tokyo Ghoul, easily one of my favourite ones. I've got the first 6 volumes. I really need to get finishing it because it's only 14 volumes long, and plus there's a sequel out called Tokyo Ghoul Re, which I want to read. I'm not going to read it until I've done it. So there's volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, and volume 6, which I got recently, so I'm hoping to read that soon. And the next one is Tokyo Mew Mew. This is Omnibus 1. I think there's like 4 or 5 omnibuses. It just looks so cute. One of my friends gave them, the same friend that gave me Phantom Thief Jean and something else I can't remember beside it. Gave me this, and it just looks so cute. And yeah, not read it, but I will when I get the time and stuff. It just looks so cute. I just cannot complain about its cuteness. But yeah, that's a good one. Next, I have Tomie by Junji Ito. This is the other one of the Junji Ito 3 that I got. And this is actually I think the biggest manga I've got in my whole collection. This is about 740 odd pages long. It's just mad, but I actually finished this in a couple of days, so it's brilliant. And honestly, out of the 3 Junji Ito manga I got, this has to be my least favourite. It's not to say it's bad, it's actually just to say it's actually pretty good, but it's my least favourite. And I should also have mentioned Gyo. If I didn't, no, I don't think I did. Gyo has 2 stories at the end of it. The Sad Tale of the Principal Post and the Enigma of Amigara Fault, which is actually pretty interesting to read. If you do pick up Gyo, look at them. Next, I have another one that one of my friends gave me, Until Death Do Us Part. Now, this looked fascinating. I just said to my friend, this looks interesting, can I have it? And he said, yeah, sure, go for it. And it just looks interesting. I've read the blurb, and for a single volume, it's pretty damn huge, and there's good few volumes of these. I don't know if they're all like bulky. Look at this